Welcome to SATV News. This is Shibala Alam with our headlines. Government autonomous offices to run 7 hours daily to save energy. Education institutions to remain closed 2 days a week. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina asked government officials to serve people to ensure the development of the country. Tea workers returned to work with the previous wage of Dhaka 120, withdrawing their strike except Hobbyganj. The cabinet today rescheduled the office hour of government and autonomous institutions from 8 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon to save electricity and reduce traffic jam. All the banks across the country will remain open from 9 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon. Education institutions will remain shut 2 days a week. Cabinet Secretary Khandakar Anwarul Islam disclosed information to reporters at his secretariat office in Dhaka this afternoon. He also said that the decision will come into effect from Wednesday. The Cabinet Secretary said that there will be uninterrupted power supply in the rural areas from midnight to dawn in the next 15 days for irrigation. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina today asked government officials to serve people to ensure the development of the country. She said this while addressing a program to give away course certificates and marking completion of the 73rd Foundation training courses at Bangladesh Public Administration Training Center in Shawar this morning. The Prime Minister said that it is the responsibility of all to ensure the welfare of the people of this country. She asked the newly appointed government officials to devote themselves to the welfare of the people and development of the country. On behalf of the Prime Minister, the State Minister gave away certificates among the participants. Tea garden workers today returned to work with the previous wage of Dhaka 120, withdrawing their strike for raising wage to Dhaka 300 upon assurance from the Prime Minister that their wage will be refixed after a virtual meeting with her. The decision was taken at a meeting of the tea workers leader with Maulavi Bajar Deputy Commissioner Mir Nahid Ahsan. The workers were promised an audience with the Prime Minister via video conferencing during Durga Puja holiday to discuss their wage demands. Meanwhile, tea estate owners will pay the striking workers the wages that had accumulated during their work abstention. Workers from 241 tea estates in the northeastern region were campaigning for a daily wage of Dhaka 300 and launched a strike on August 9. Meanwhile, tea workers are yet to resume works in Hobbyganj. Antibodies began to decline on average 6 months after receiving booster dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. However, antibody levels are elevated in those with a history of COVID-19. Vice Chancellor of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujib Medical University, BSMMU, Professor Dr. Sharfuddin made the comment in a press conference in disclosing a research report on COVID-19 vaccine this morning. He said those who had previously been infected with COVID-19 had more antibodies in their body. After 6 months of vaccination, the antibody levels decreased in most cases. The head of the research team and the president of the hematology department of BSMMU, Professor Salahuddin Shah, said that the research was done to determine whether the 4th dose or the second booster dose is necessary after the 3rd dose. BNP Chairperson Khalda today visited Dhaka's Evercare Hospital for a routine medical checkup. A medical team led by Professor Shahabuddin Talukdar have been overseeing Khalda's treatment at the hospital. The BNP Chairperson has been suffering from various ailments, including liver cirrhosis, arthritis, diabetes, kidney, lung and heart, and eye problems. Earlier on June 10, Khaltazia suffered a heart attack due to a 95% block in her left artery, and a stent was placed there by removing the blockade at the same hospital the following day. Doctors also found 2 more blocks in her blood vessels, but they could not remove those due to her various health complications. British High Commissioner in Dhaka, Robert Dixon, today said that all political parties should participate in the next general election to continue the development of Bangladesh. He made the comment while speaking at Meet the Ambassador program organized by Centre for Governance Studies in Dhaka this morning. During this time, the British High Commissioner said that the international organizations can monitor-only elections, but staging a fair election is an internal issue of Bangladesh. He added that the country itself is responsible to hold a fair election by following its constitution. Dixon also said that this country supports Bangladesh regarding the Rohingya issue.
Sorts of factors. And in this
Bangladesh Petrol Pump Owners Association today staged a 12-hour strike in Rajshahi, Rangpur, Khulna to press home the three-point demand. The demands included raising the commission on oil fuel and readjusting transport fare following the latest hike in fuel prices. Bangladesh Petroleum Dealers, Distributors, Agents and Petrol Pump Owners Association stopped collection of fuel from Podda, Meghna and Jamuna depot. However, fuel sale from petrol pumps continued during the strike. The government hiked the prices of fuel oil by a big margin on August 5th. Diesel prices were increased by Taka 34 to Taka 114 per litre, octane by Taka 46 to Taka 135 per litre and petrol by Taka 44 to Taka 130 per litre. Viewers are taking a short break. Please stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching SATV News. Now news from abroad. Pakistan's police today charged the country's former Prime Minister Imran Khan under anti-terrorism laws. The investigation came under he accused the police and judiciary of detaining and torturing his close aide. Tensions are high in the country, with the former leader's supporters gathering outside his house, vying to take over if he is arrested. In a public speech on Saturday, the former Prime Minister condemned Islamabad's police chief and a female judge for the detention and alleged mistreatment of his party colleague Shahbaz Gill. Officials accused him of breaching the country's Anti-Terrorism Act for allegedly making threats against the state officials.
According to reports, Pakistan's former Prime Minister
Britain, France, Germany and the US stressed the need to ensure the safety of nuclear installations threatened by the conflict in Ukraine. In a phone call on Sunday, the four leaders also reiterated their support for Ukraine against Russia's invasion. Moscow and Kiev have accused each other of shelling Russian-held Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant, raising fears of the catastrophe. The conflict was the subject of a conference call on Sunday, bringing together the UK's Boris Johnson, US President Joe Biden, his French counterpart Emmanuel Macron, and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz. The leaders welcomed a deal approved by Russian President Vladimir Putin on Friday to allow UN inspectors to visit the plant at a future date. Meanwhile, President Volodymyr Zelensky urged Ukrainians to be vigilant ahead of Independence Day celebrations.
That the United Nations to send a mission to
South Korea and the United States today launched their largest joint military drills in years, officials said, as the allies seek to tighten readiness over North Korea's potential weapon test. The annual summertime exercises in Korea began this morning and are scheduled to end on September 1st. They come after South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol, who took office in May, promised to normalize the combined exercises and boost deterrence against North Korea. South Korea also launched the 4-day civil defense drills separately, designed to boost government readiness for the first time since the coronavirus pandemic emerged. The drills were the largest since 2017 after being scaled back during COVID-19 and prior to that to create space for diplomacy with North Korea.
2018, after the two countries canceled some exercises.
A $75 million valued Russian super yacht will go under the hammer after its owner was sanctioned. The Axioma was seized in Gibraltar in March after US bank JP Morgan claimed owner Dmitrivich Pompitsky did not pay the loan of $20 million. The vessel will be auctioned on Tuesday, and because it is listed for only 1 day, it is expected to go for less than its estimated value. The monster boat boasts 6 cabins, a swimming pool, jacuzzi, spa, 3D cinema, jet skis and scuba diving equipment, and has space for 20 crews. It is the first seas luxury boat to be sold since restrictions were imposed on powerful Russians following Moscow's invasion of Ukraine in February.
Obtain their jet ski certificate as well as Sea-Doo's kayak.
Now sports news. Russel Domingo will not be with Bangladesh team in the upcoming Asia Cup since Bangladesh Cricket Board BCB today released him from his role as the T20 international coach. But the South African will remain as the head coach of the Test and One-Day international sides. BCB President Nazmul Hasan Papun made the remarks to reporters after a meeting with the coaches this afternoon. He also said that there will be no one in the role of head coach in the country's cricket. The newly appointed technical consultant for T20, Sridharan Sriram, was given the responsibility of looking after the T20 team. Batting coach and former head coach Jamie Sidens will work to develop the new players. Domingo will primarily work with the Test and ODI teams. Meanwhile, Domingo will be on vacation till November since Tigers will be busy with the T20 format. Before ending, we go to the headlines again. Government Autonomous Office to run 7 hours daily to save energy. Educational institutions to remain closed 2 days a week. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina asked government officials to serve people to ensure the development of the country. Key workers returned to work with the previous wage of Dhaka 120, withdrawing their strike except Hobbyganj. You're up to date so far here on SATV News, and to know the latest news, visit www.satvtv.tv. Stay with SATV.